Hi, my name is Chad Taylor, and on behalf of the I-5 Auto Group and myself, I just wanted to say thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk to you about the automotive industry's touchless transaction. Um, it's my pleasure to be able to give you some firsthand information on how we can complete a car sale with absolutely no human interaction. It can all be done online and from the comfort of the customer's couch if they want to. So throughout the video, I'm going to be going through each step of the process so that there's absolutely no questions, um, so that I can give you all the information you could want. The people that provide essential services to our economy right now in Washington State are in limbo. And some of them, because we don't have the ability to provide them transportation via either a vehicle or even sell them a motorhome or a travel trailer, it actually has the ability of some negative effects because of the risk that we put them into by not having that either transportation or an alternate place for them to self-quarantine if they have a family member that is in the high-risk category. One example is we had a customer come in 2 days ago, and they were looking for an RV. The reason is this lady works at a hospital up in Morton, actually, Arbor Health, and her husband recently underwent heart surgery. He's also in the age category that makes him extremely susceptible to contracting the virus. Her idea was to self-quarantine herself while she was working. So she'd go to work and she'd be in contact with people that potentially have this virus, and to keep her husband safe, she was going to self-quarantine in the RV. The problem was there's uncertainty on whether that transaction can happen. And being a dealership that follows the law to the T, we weren't able to sell her that vehicle. So I want to clear up things so that you have the information to make an informed decision on whether or not you think it's safe for people to buy vehicles through a touchless transaction, which every dealership in Washington State can offer. So I'm going to go through each step one by one and explain it. So let's go. Let me show you step one.
All right, so the step one through, there's about 5 steps here, are all completed from the website. And after somebody has done all of the research and they've found the car they want, they'll go to awesomechevy.com. That's where we are right now, and find the vehicle they want, which is this 2020 Chevy Bolt EV. And real simple, you just go in, hit create my deal. This is going to launch the online deal calculator and everything. So what it's doing is it's calculating all of the information based on the manufacturer's suggested price. We're giving the customers 3 different options to choose from right off the bat. You can finance, you can lease, or you can just pay cash. All of the information that calculates taxes and things like that is done right here. And this is set up to where if our customer is from an area that has a special RTA tax or anything like that, it will all be calculated by the zip code in which they live. So from this, if you want to start your deal, you can apply your down payment. Just say we want to put $4,000 down. We're going to apply that. This right here will automatically head over into the right screen that's calculating all of the numbers. And this is a live screen that constantly updates based on what the customer puts in for their information, completely controlled by them. Right now we have a standard APR that automatically pops up that most of the time basically 90% of the customers qualify for. And this month, obviously, there's 0% financing available for people. And you can also add your trade-in. So if you have a car that you want to trade in on the deal, we do that all through kbb.com, which we have a deal with, and most of the automotive dealers have tools like this available. Um, you can enter your own trade amount, or you can actually go through the KBB process of entering in your information, which we'll do real quick so I can show you exactly um, how it works on the right screen. Just keep going down. You put in your information, select your options. Um, then you hit next. It's gonna. We give the customer 4 different options of condition of vehicle. Most of the time, the vehicles fall into the good category, and we give percentages and explanations to customers so they're really informed of this process. They choose which one, they hit next, and then um, they can discuss the estimate that they're providing with us, and they can also acknowledge that the trade-in is provided only as an estimate. That our used car buyers always do a physical evaluation, and that's to protect them. More times than not, um, the value will be low, and we'll be able to offer them more money on the trade-in. So here it's telling you that the trade-in was valued at $43,000. Um, this might have been the wrong car to choose because the trade-in is more than the vehicle, but you're seeing the point. You start the buying process, and this is where you go through everything. We've done the trade. Now we're going to put in information. We're going to talk to them about our privacy statement. We're going to get their information so that we can have the ability to communicate with them back and forth. We make sure that they're well aware of what their rights are as a consumer in the way that we talk to them back and forth. We always make sure the consumer, the person buying the vehicle, is well informed of what the process that we're going through and what the next process will be. So it's really not, it never gets confusing because it just guides them through. Um, the next part after you do your trade-in is you can customize your vehicle. And I wonder if, yeah, it wants me to fill out all this real quick, which is understandable. Let's do that. Automatically generated based on the information saved in my computer. This is the customization area. You can choose a roof rack. I'm going to add that to the deal so you can see that it automatically went over there. And I always, I always buy a warranty, so you can add a warranty to the deal. And then you just click next. So this is where it's going to review some of the information that they've already put in. It's going to talk about their trade-in. It's going to talk about the roof carrier that I added. We're going to get more information on this service contract because there's a couple of options that they need to choose, and we'll do that through this tool, communicating with them the whole time. So it's all right in front of them. This is a review process. The next step is the credit application, and again, this application is through an SSL secured website. All information is protected using all of the standards that we've adopted, that any kind of rules, regulations that have been implemented are all compliant with this credit application process. So after they fill out the credit app, they'll again review documents and then have the opportunity to e-sign their documents. All of them except there's 1 or 2 documents that still do need a wet signature, and that can be done again through a touchless process. We can put the documents in the car that they are going to test drive. We can put them, there are ways for you to get documents to people to where they're not compromised in any way. And then the last part of the deal is scheduling it. You know, you've reviewed the documents, you've been approved through credit. Our finance department has reviewed everything, you've reviewed everything, and now, you know, the deal's pretty much done, and we're going to schedule delivery. And I talked about delivery here. Again, we can get into that here in a second, but that's kind of, this is the online buying process. This is the same process that you know, Amazon uses currently to sell things to people and are doing all day, every day. This is the same process that some people would use to order groceries online and pick them up or have them delivered. Um, you know, obviously there's not a credit application involved in that, but don't need to review documents. But basically, it's the same functions, only you're buying a car. So it's a process we've had for quite a while. We've been using, we've proven the technology that we're using here. It's safe, um, and we would love the opportunity to show it to you in person, or um, if you've seen enough, for us to be granted an exception to be able to offer this to Washingtonians um, that need that need vehicles. So I appreciate you looking at this, and let's move on to the next part.
So when somebody finds a vehicle online that they want to take a look at and take a test drive, the process is everything's done online, or they can call. But what happens is we get notified, and we're working with this customer, and we get that all of the information that you need to drive a vehicle legally in the state of Washington is received online. They upload their driver's license, proof of insurance, and anything else necessary for that particular deal. And we take the keys from the vehicle that they are interested in test drive, and we also take our sanitization wipes with us. But for this instance, we've already sanitized the vehicle. What happens is we go and we get this car that they're interested. Let's just say, for instance, it's this RAV4 right here. We have a lot attendant take care of it, sanitize it, get everything perfect, and then we'll go ahead and put the keys right here in the car, right in that cup holder right there. And then we shut the door, and then we go inside. The customer's notified that the vehicle's ready for them to come in and take a test drive, and they are able to do that by themselves. We don't want to have them at risk by having one of our employees in the vehicle with them, and vice versa. So even during the test drive, they are not they're not put into a place where there's human contact, and therefore, you know, if one of them were to have the virus, it can't be spread. So that's the touchless test drive part of the whole deal. All right, so now after the customer has test drove the vehicle, the next process is we make sure that vehicle is completely sanitized and disinfected. And that's not saying that the customer was dirty or anything like that, but we want to make sure that every vehicle that is on our lot is completely is made safe for anybody else in the future that may want to drive it. So one of the things we have is these, you know, everybody has these, right? Clorox wipes. And you could probably tell, I have these gloves on. Everybody that touches a vehicle or anything in the process of the car sale or anything in service, they wear gloves. And those gloves are only used one time. They're disposed of because we want to prevent the spread of any virus. Basically, the car's brought back. The customer is, they put the keys right back in the cup holder where they found them, and then they can give us a call. We can talk about the experience, or they can go home and we can finish the process of the car sale online. Basically, every touch point in the vehicle is sanitized using these, and we're very liberal. We use a lot of these things. And after it's been disinfected, including the keys, we disinfect the keys, the steering wheel, any vinyl. There's a disinfectant spray that we use. We shut the car and we self-quarantine that car for 3 hours. Reason is we've been informed by the CDC and everybody in your office that that 3-hour period is appropriate to make sure that if there is anything inside the car that could potentially put anybody at risk, that it can't survive longer than 3 hours on its own. So the sanitization process that we go through with these vehicles is a critical part of our overall process. All right, so you've seen the online part where you're sitting in your couch, you're going through the process of finding the vehicle that you want, going through customizing it and getting it ready for delivery. You've completed all your paperwork, credit app, and all that good stuff. And that's all done through DocuSign, right? So up until this point, everything has been completely touchless. You've been able to test drive the vehicle. You've seen what we do with the vehicle once it gets back to make sure it's sanitary and clean for the next person that may want to drive it. And the last step of the process is scheduling delivery. Once everything has been signed, we have people that are ready to go to take that vehicle to the customer's house. And that's not where it ends. At the customer's house, we complete a complete disinfecting of that vehicle. We take our sanitary wipes, our spray, everything that we would use in our delivery bay to their house, and we perform the deep clean in their driveway. We take the keys, we put them in the door or in the cup holder, and we leave. We give them a call, let them know their car is there. They're probably watching us through the window, but it's there and ready to go, and that has been a complete transaction without us ever actually coming into contact with the person or people who are buying the vehicle. It's safe. It allows people to do their job at the absolute minimum risk possible. So I hope that you found this video informative. If there are any questions that you have, I would be more than happy to answer them. And I can't thank you enough for giving us the time and the opportunity to get in front of you. I know that you're busy, and I know that you have a lot of other people that want to do the same thing, but we do have a unique system in place and ready to go, and we'd like to get back to work. We understand that it won't be the same, and we're not asking for it to be the same. We just want to move forward a little bit.